welcome to my channel. Today I have a really fascinating guest. His name is Ramy Adly, and I'm so excited to ask you a bunch of questions. But before I do, say hi.
Hi everyone, how are you doing? Thank you, Trina, for having me. It's so good to be here.
And tell us where here is.
Okay, so I'm in Salt Lake City, and this is the best place to be. It's wonderful, a great neighborhood. It's so fantastic. I know Trina in Las Vegas right now is like the best city for fun, right? But I'm happy here, and thank you so much for having me.
Well, you're welcome. For those of you who are watching this, you probably detected a little accent. So
Yes.
Ramy is actually from Egypt and is one of the world's greatest, most famous oud players. So
That's what they say.
if you are in the mood for oud,
Food.
you are in the right place. So the first question is, what is an oud? Tell
Oh,
everybody.
that's so good. So here it is. Look at this. Okay, so this is the instrument called the oud instrument. Like basically, simply, it's just six strings, as you see, and they are double in chorus, and then it's fretless, as you see as well, and it's just a smiling face, and it has a short neck, and it sounds like. It sounds like that.
I love it. Turn it over so they can see the shape of the back. Yeah, there you go.
Look at
So,
it. Yes. And as you see, it's just Bombay right here. It's nice. It has, little fat. So I don't have to have fat because he has a fat. I cannot have it, right? But what I did, I invented one of the alternatives, which is this one right here. This
wow.
called the iOod. So if you don't have an iPhone, you have an iOod. That's
I got
alternative,
it.
right? So the iOod can play any type of sounds. It's like you have something like a piano, for example, it's cello. It can play anything. It's like phenomenal. And this is the only kind of the whole entire world is right there. Next time I will let you hear piano on it, or cello on it, or something like with quarter tones, because basically this is what it makes make these instruments are like very different, and they are comes with quarter tones. So that is why it's an important one.
Wow. So I met you last year at a media conference,
Right.
and you were carrying around your oud in a case. So I couldn't see what it looked like inside. I had never heard of one before, although
Uh-huh.
I've heard that sound before.
Ah, yes, I
And
know.
then this year, you and I both were presenters at the same conference. So I
Exactly.
thought, I need to interview this guy and because you're so amazing. So the first question I think most people have, in addition to what is an oud, is how did an oud expert in Egypt end up in Salt Lake City, Utah?
Yes, that's a great question. So okay, so first time I came to America with this oud. I thought the oud instrument is like known around the world. It's like everybody knows the oud. I went the first land I landed on is San Francisco, and suddenly the gate officer called me and said, "What is that? Is find something big and looks like." Suspicious. And I said, "This is an oud, right?" And he said, "What an oud?" I said, "What?" It's like, how dare you, right? Because this is like everybody knows the oud, everybody knows us, right? So he said, I said, "Okay, it's like a guitar." So he told me, "Okay, go with your broken guitar." So this is how I started the journey. Okay, I was like, "Oh boy, I will be very disappointed here in this country." But it turns out to be fantastic because after I find it as like a responsibility for myself to put the oud instrument in front of everyone. So I did concerts here and did concerts there. I did my concerts in Kennedy Center, and Kennedy Center is like one of the best stage to be, and it was fantastic. We did concerts everywhere, Barcelona, Hawaii, here and there, and like every state maybe we did a lot and concerts and stuff like that. So it was fun. It was fun, and with YouTube channel and stuff like that, like they start to learn about the oud instrument suddenly. And after all, I created one of the platform that I have to share with you. It's called the School of Oud Online. It's what this is the my first business, which is this one right here. So basically the School of Oud Online is like where I teach the instrument via Skype, and it has students from all over around the world. I can't imagine, it's like, from fantastic background, wonderful people who are dedicated to play the oud instrument in different way, from all over around the world. And these are plans and tons of ideas. So this is the first thing that I started. So I said, okay, this is how I will start to teach people about the oud instrument. And soon enough, I found somebody from Puerto Rico wants to play the oud, and somebody in Norwegian farm. He is a farmer. As like sometimes he said, "Okay, I will just milk the cow and come back just 5 minutes. I will start very shortly." I have the best luck to meet wonderful people around the world through the School of Oud Online.
Well, I love it. And I asked you earlier before we started recording, what advice do you have for musicians? And you said, "Oh, can I share my screen? I have something I have to show you." So if you're a musician and you're wondering, how do you get more exposure to you, your talent, your music?
All right,
They
so
have to see what you just
yeah.
created, which is amazing.
Trina, I know this is the first time I shared it with you too, and that is phenomenal. So in 2018, I launched the first phase of the musician marketplace, which is here it is. So the musician marketplace is more about musicians who get paid, make music, get paid. You have tons of launching, and you have gain access to 40 million visitors in 2019 only. I'm talking about last year only, is like over 40 million visitors who want to hire musicians
Wow.
on the musician marketplace. So we have like extraordinary, wonderful plans for the musicians. It's like if they are producers, there's one plan, is just basic plan for only $30 a month. Basically, it's it's a very little thing. Is like, a couple of coffee or tea during the month. But you have they have tremendous tools with it, which is they have fantastic tools, and people are working with us and make music get paid. They have tools like that. They list their music for the pricing they want. For example, as a producer, he produces in jazz music, so he will show up in the search engine under jazz music. It's more like LinkedIn for musician.
That's such a fantastic concept.
Thank you.
No idea you even created that until like 5 minutes ago when you showed me that. And I said, "Oh, our musicians who follow my channel absolutely need to know about this." So this is not intended as a commercial, but just
No,
I'm so impressed. And I love that you have something to help other musicians,
absolutely.
especially during this COVID time. I saw
Exactly.
that your concerts were canceled, as are everybody else's, basically.
Oh, the musicians, they are making great money, since also it's more like linked in together for musicians. So somebody in Norway will be in contact with somebody in Asia, and somebody in China will be in contact with somebody in America, even if the American people don't want to contact, but they contact on the musician marketplace because they love the musician market. It's like a great thing for the diversities, like everywhere. For sure, at the top here, you'll find producers listing. Some of them, there are some listing are not here on the platform. They are listing also on the platform, but in other ways that is not published here. But there are some fantastic places. They have great tools to work on it, and that is in 2018 established. And today, here we are. It's a wonderful, wonderful platform.
It is. I'm super impressed, and I wish I could use it. I am not a musician. I try so hard. I've tried several different instruments, and I just can't do it. It's just not my talent, but I love music. So I love that you're giving them a place, an option, some place to go where they can really share their talents. And I love that you mentioned the word, bringing people together. So
Sure.
read that the oud is called the king of instruments, and
Yeah.
that there was a story that the oud in particular is uniting the Middle East. So tell me a little bit about how the oud has had an influence in bringing people together in the Middle East.
Oh, fantastic. Absolutely. I will stop sharing the screen. And before I don't share the screens, these are the work that is listing on the musician marketplace. So people can also find opportunities to work on any of these projects, like $50,000 projects. And
Wow.
it's very, very, very cool. So they can do it.
Very.
But back here to the oud. So the oud instrument is more about the place that is created in, because in ancient days they used to have this instrument in only temples. It's not allowed in secular music, and it's just for a sacred type of music. So they use it just in worship time, and only specific for worship. It's like deep to heart. It's very, 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 very deep. Also, they call it also the spoken stick. Like there's a stick of wood that can speak to somebody else. This is what the name means, by the way. So yeah, it's very cool. And
Beautiful. That's
yeah, so
gorgeous. Now, is that like a song that Egyptians would know or something
uh,
that you wrote?
no, I just play it on air. Just, this
Oh,
is
that's not even a song. That's just goofing around.
yes.
It was beautiful. Wow.
Yeah, this is specifically for you.
Oh, thank you. So I had also read that King David played the oud.
Yes, so in Psalms, when they mention the King David used to go to the mountains to pray, basically they are talking about an instrument with him. The instrument is written in Hebrew as an oud, not the harp. Because think about it, if it's a harp, the harp is very large, it's very big, you cannot carry it. But the oud is the alternative instrument that is written in Hebrew, translated maybe mistakenly in English by harp to harp. So it's basically this is the very, very ancient instrument that's played by the King David. That's right.
So it is unique to Egypt, but it's also all over the Middle East, correct?
Yes, so much. So basically, in the Middle East, it's known as the king of all instruments. This is how they feel, and this is everybody feels. Even the students who are not from Egypt and who wants to learn something like special, they come and we send them oud from Egypt to to wherever they are, and then they learn immediately this instrument. So it becomes very, very, very smooth around the world. I'm happy when I see somebody from the somebody from different country, in different color, in different walk of life and background, and somebody he has in Greek, for example, comes with little kids, like 7 kids. Everybody's around him while he's playing the oud, that he's taking the session. It sounds amazing. I feel like I help the souls of the people to become more better and more effective in life more than anything else. So when I give a session, I really enjoy that so much.
I think music is such a unifying
Yeah.
agent. It's so
Ye-
powerful. It
Yes,
speaks
yes,
every language.
yes. Big time, big time.
Have you tried playing American music on the oud, or does it just
Yes.
sound wacky?
Well, are you familiar with this mood? It's just a mood, right? But we so we have tons of moods, right? But for sure, one of the songs that I loved so much, "Stairway to Heaven," I basically did the music video for that. On YouTube, you'll find it, "Stairway to Heaven," Ramy Adly, you'll find that. So it's a wonderful.
That was my next question is where can they find you on
Uh,
YouTube?
that's so nice. So that's you'll find the channel here. It's called Ramy Adly.
All right,
Uh,
I'm going to write it right up above.
that's so good. So here are the find some songs created. Here's Schindler's List. For sure, the Schindler's List music. Here is Ave Maria. Here is Adagio also. Kit Kat is Stairway to Heaven. Here is also, Shape of My Heart. Here's some media coverage and stuff like that. So you'll find some music. This is Stairway to Heaven for sure. It's like, yeah. So it's a nice music video. So you'll find it there. You can share it, of course, anytime.
Lots, it looks like you have tons and tons of videos there. That's awesome. So if we have musicians who are watching this video and they would love to follow in your footsteps, either on an oud or another instrument, what advice would you have for a new up and coming artist? How do they get exposure? How do they create a video, that's good quality? What recommendations would you have for them?
Uh, the most greatest thing about musicians, they really care about the dream, their dreams, and follow the dream is wonderful thing. It's always follow the dream. The dream is always leads, and the dream here means that you have to get dreaming. You have to keep dreaming for tomorrow, and keep dreaming for the next, and keep dreaming for something bigger, and keep dreaming for creativity. For example, these platforms that we created is like, I feel like these are songs because this is like, it helps others to be creative in their lives. For sure, the second in the musician marketplace is the kitchen, when you're really cook something inside with another expertise from around the world. If you are a singer, you need a producer, so you go to the musician marketplace. If you are a oud player, you need a producer. All of these music that I produced from the musicians who own the musician marketplace. So it's basically it's the kitchen. This is what you call it. It's like this is where it happened, and then they push it in the marketing for YouTube, or just put it in on YouTube right there, and then they started like you know Leslie Lindsay Sterling, for example. That's like a good example of somebody started from scratch, got some mini hits, and then she becomes one of the best violinists maybe in the world. And this is where Lindsay started to show herself, and to prove herself to the audience and to the world also. So this is how you start. You just start with a dream. You have to keep dreaming. Don't lose this. So,
I think that's fantastic advice. And music is such an inspiration. I'm a writer, as you know, and
right.
you know, if I'm trying to get into the zone and I've got writer's block, if I turn on music, all of a sudden, this is me today. All of a sudden, I'm like in the zone and I can feel it, and the words start to flow. But you have a new piece of inspiration in your life. You have a little baby girl.
Yes, for sure. So Grace, I have now Jane and Grace, two baby girls. Fantastic, so cool. I love them so much. They are growing, and they grow very fast. And then Jane, 1 year and 8 months. This morning, I guess her mom says to her, What is your name?" She said, "Jane." So she said her name this morning. It's like the best thing.
Oh, that's adorable. So, how did you meet your American wife?
So in America, but that's a good thing. I'm an American, by the way, as well. You know, I got the citizenship.
I didn't know
Yeah, sure, absolutely. It was fantastic. So I'm glad I be an American. For sure, it's a proud country, and it's fantastic to be here. And before my concert, my wife, she works for the media, and then we met through our fantastic friend. His name is Sameh, and then Sameh starts to like on he's just helping me to get the exposure before my concert. So he invited all of his friends, and one of the friends she was. So this is where we started, and since then the rest of is history. And that's it. It's so good to be creative also in love.
Yes, love is a great muse, isn't it?
Oh, for sure, for sure. That's very important. Plus, she's blonde, so this is that helps tremendous.
That helps.
It helps tremendous. Like you cannot go wrong with blonde. So very fantastic way to put it, right?
Now, do your daughters play the oud yet?
No, the one of them she started to play piano a little bit like this, which is good. Yeah, I played for both of them while they are in their womb of their moms. So that's good.
Oh, that's so fun. All right. The last bit of advice that you can give to all creatives, in addition to dreaming and getting inspiration, is what? What are your final thoughts?
I think the creative mind cannot be led by as like my thoughts and my beliefs. It's like I think the belief here is like more to look at the master of the creation, which is God, and see how He created something never looks the same. Never looks the same. Look at the trees; all of them are called trees, but basically they are not the same at all, right? Look at the rocks. Each rock is different. It's completely different. So this is the most important thing. You have to see also, in my opinion, you have to see how this happened. So that is the most important thing.
I love that actually, that everybody has their own unique talent. Like,
Yes.
I wish I were a musician, but I
But you
love.
are a writer, so you are a creator. You
Well,
create.
yeah, exactly. It's a different talent. It's a different skill, and
Sure.
everybody has something. Because I get a lot of people that will come to me and they'll say, "Oh, I don't have any talents," but
Ah,
not every talent is a performing talent, right?
no, no, for sure not. There are some talents in marketing, some talents in writing, for sure. Some talents that is their beauty is a talent. Some great speakers. It's amazing what the talents could be.
Yeah, and I love that how you mentioned how God has created everything different and unique, just like each one of us. And that
Right.
as we try to find our talents, a lot of times, again, I coach authors to become number one best-selling authors, and they'll say, "Oh, well, somebody else is already doing something. I should follow what they're doing and copy their example." And to be successful, I need to copy exactly what they did. And I say, but you're unique and different. You can get ideas and inspiration, but don't copy. We need you to be you and to
Right.
share your uniqueness with the world, right?
True, true, absolutely. Copying, everybody else will see that you are copying someone, but the genuine work is always stands for itself.
Absolutely. Well, thank you so much. I know you're a busy guy, so I'm so grateful we had at least a few minutes to chat
Thank
and
you.
that my
Pleasure.
audience could discover you because
Thank you so
I'm
much. It's such a pleasure.
Wow, I'm such a fan and I wish you the best of luck. You don't need luck. You've got the talent. You're
Thank,
doing great. Anyway, thank you again so much and for sharing your wisdom as well.
thank you so much, Trina. It's such a pleasure.
So, all of you watching, when you get a second, be sure and visit him on YouTube. Subscribe. Of course, subscribe to this channel. If you haven't yet, ring that little bell and it'll notify you every time I have a new upload. If I'm interviewing another artist, author, singer, musician, filmmaker, and hopefully you get inspiration from watching all of their talents and hearing their great wisdom. And obviously, we heard some great wisdom today. So, again, thanks. I'll talk to you later.
Thank you.
Okay, bye.
Bye.